When you see people like Dave Chappelle literally being attacked on stage for their comedy, does that worry you that line has been crossed now, where people, when you saw what happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock?
Well, it makes me laugh because I used to work at a place called the Rodeo Lounge that had chicken wire. So he'd be on stage telling jokes, and boom, a bottle would just bounce off the outside of it and smash on the ground. So people throwing. So the idea that
you're quite used to all this.
No, the idea of being attacked on stage, oh, that's fine. Yeah, compared to people throwing bottles and things, that was actually okay. You know.
When you saw Will Smith slap Chris Rock at the Oscars, what went through your mind watching that?
Well, what went through my mind is somebody totally misreading a situation. I think you're sitting there and someone's insulting your wife, and you go, I bet if I go up and I bet people go, yeah, look at it. You know, John Wilkes Booth, the exact same thing. John Wilkes Booth, the actor who shot Abraham Lincoln, hugely popular, and hated Lincoln, and the South hated Lincoln. He goes, well, I'm going to get up there, I'm going to kill Lincoln, and I will be a bigger star than, and that was his motivation, that they would make him more famous and more powerful. Well, that backfired pretty quick. But
are you comparing Will Smith to the most notorious assassin in American history?
No, not that, but it's just the idea that, you know, you've got this thing going, okay, guy insults my wife, I'm going to go up there, I'm going to slap him for something. Because it's not, I don't think it's far-fetched to think that some people would see that as, hey, that's a real man, or women go, I wish my husband would do that when that guy in a bar insulted me. You know, so that's what I'd like to think probably went through his mind. He just misread the situation. But who knows?
I watched the Golden Globes. Joe Coy, who I'd never heard of, but he was this stand-up guy.
Very nice guy, very funny guy.
Right. Incredibly unfunny presenting the Golden Globes. I mean, it was like cringe-making to watch.
Well, that's a tough crowd.
But you can still tell funny jokes.
Well, not when you have just a few days to prepare. I mean, he took the job at the last minute. If I was an agent,
but if I gave you 10 minutes notice to do the Globes,
I wouldn't do it.
You still make people laugh. You could wing your way through it.
No, because that is a crowd, you know, you can't.
Have you done any of those award shows?
No, I got asked to host the Oscars a couple of times. I say, look, I tell jokes every night on the Tonight Show. Do I save my best jokes for the Tonight Show, or do I do my best jokes on the Oscars? But nobody wants to see me do jokes 5 nights a week. And then the 6th night, I come out and I tell jokes again. You just saw me Friday night.
So you have sympathy for Joe Coy?
Yes, I do, because I know he's funny, and it's just not. Well, I can remember one big star I had. I remember it was Joaquin Phoenix. He was on the show, and he was in character when he had the beard and just sort of mumbling and playing this character. And at the end of the show, I said, hey, thanks for coming here. Next time, I hope you can come in person, you know. So his publicist, he is a genius. You don't talk to him that way. I go, he wasn't a genius tonight. He was kind of rude and really wasn't that funny, you know. And it wasn't that interesting, you know. I mean, I guess he's a nice guy, but he was just being very, you know, if you don't want to be there, fine. Don't be there, you know. You know, that was the great thing about doing the Tonight Show. I could be in show business without being in show business.
Who were your favorite guests when you look back at it?
Rodney was a favorite one. So while he's doing his act, I said to Debbie, our producer, I said, I think Rodney's having a stroke. Would you call paramedics? She goes, really? I go, no, I think he is. Okay. Then the show ends. Rodney's in his dressing room. By this time, the paramedics come in. And I go, Rodney, can the paramedics take a look at it? I think maybe he had a stroke. He goes, I'm okay. Well, he did have a stroke.
Really?
And they took him out in the stretcher. And he passed away not long after that.
Wow.
But another great guest was, I love Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Because he was not James Bond. Whenever Sean Connery would come to the show, he'd go, Jay, what's the latest filthy joke going about? You know. So I would tell him the joke, and he would laugh like a pirate. Like, he would laugh like that. He would literally slap his knee. He'd go, oh my God, it's funny. And he was the only one who would take a shower in those little dressing rooms. And he would sing, oh, it's for Scotland. Da, da, da. He'd just sing Scottish songs, you know. And the news crew would go, now, we're trying to do the news. I said, Sean Connery, he's shouting in the shower. So he was the only star I ever heard my mother go, you know, that's a real man, Jamie. I go, Mom, I don't want you to talk like, no, Jamie, that's a real man, that Sean Connery.
You also had the 6 most famous words probably in talk show history when you looked at Hugh Grant after his little indiscretion in Los Angeles. With
what were you thinking?
What the hell were you thinking?
Oh, that's right. I guess Yeah, that was just an ad lib, and it was.
Did you think about that before? Or
No,
did it just come
no.
out?
I just asked him, and you know, he was great because in those days, I'm sure he had a publicist, but he came by himself. I went in the dressing room and I said, "Look, I got to ask you about this. You can answer. I'm not going to contradict you or belabor the point, but I just have to ask." He goes, "That's okay. I deserve it." You know, he was very funny and he was very nice. You know, nowadays everybody has crisis
army of
management
people, yeah.
teams and all that kind of nonsense. But no, he was really terrific. But I'll tell you one that was really interesting to me. I was 13 when John F. Kennedy was assassinated. I remember coming home from school, and my mother's watching the TV, and tears are streaming out. She's watching the funeral. And when they pass the part where little John Jr. is saluting the casket, oh, my mother just, you know when your mom's in hysterics and you're a kid, you're like, what to do, you know? My mom's just, oh, that little boy, what's going to happen, you know? And she's just so upset by this. And I go, okay, fine. Go ahead, 40-something years. I have John F. Kennedy Jr. on the show. I had Seinfeld as first guest, and John. I'm in the dressing room. It didn't strike me. Hey, John, hey, thanks for coming on. Congratulations. Good luck with the magazine. It's a really good magazine. We talk a little bit, you know. Okay, so my next guest is son of the president. Please welcome John F. Kennedy Jr. As he comes around the curtain, I shake his hand. I look up at the monitor, and I didn't start to cry, but I almost did, because I never thought that circle of my mom, JFK, that those three, but I actually saw my mom in the monitor. Well, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I just flashed.
It took you back to that moment.
But, well, yeah, it just took me right back to that. And it was like just an interesting moment, yeah.
You lost both your parents within the space of a year, I think. They died very soon after each other.
Yeah.
What do you feel you owe your parents?
My mother, to the day she died, never understood. I remember my mother telling my Aunt Nettie what I did for a living. Well, Jay has a little skit that he puts on from town to town. I go, Mom, I said, you know, like I do a little dance. It just always made me laugh. I remember I called my mom and said, hey, Mom, I'm on the cover of Time magazine. Oh, which one? Time magazine, you know, Time magazine. Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah, Time magazine, Mom. Oh, that's good. You're on the cover. Oh, okay, I'll pick that up. I said, well, listen, call Uncle Frank in Florida, call Aunt Faye in New Jersey, and, you know, so-and-so in Connecticut. Tell them I'm the boy. She goes, well, I mean, I think they put you on the cover of the ones they sell around here because they know you're from this area. She goes, I don't think you're on the cover. I go, Mom, I'm on the cover everywhere. She goes, I don't think so. I go, no, Mom, I'm on the cover everywhere. I mean, my mother could never get over how big. And when they would get recognized, you know, my mother go to Jay Leno. Are you related to Jay Leno? Oh, did you go to school with my son? How do you, no, Mom. I'm on TV, Mom. That's all they. Yeah. It's just No, they.
What was your dad like?
My dad was the same thing.
Do you get your humor from them, do you think?
Yeah, they were pretty funny. You know, my dad was an insurance salesman. My dad was a prize fighter, and he sold insurance, and they made him manager. And once a month, my dad would put on a show to inspire them. It was all men selling insurance in those days, because it was door to door. So he would say, you guys can't sell insurance. Well, I can't juggle. By the end of the month, I'm going to know how to juggle. You know, so he would practice it. At the end of the month, he'd throw eggs, and the eggs would hit him in the face, and they would laugh. You know, and he would just do things like that. But my dad was a great role model. So he started selling insurance, and he went into his boss. He said, what's your hardest district? And they said, Harlem. So my dad started selling nickel policies in Harlem. And he made it a pretty successful area. And he kind of turned it around. And when he died, I got a letter from a lady who I guess at this time was in her 80s and 90s. And she said when she was a little girl, there was a Mr. Angelo used to come to her house to collect a nickel policy and always had a Tootsie Roll or a lollipop for her. And he was the first white man ever to have dinner in their apartment. And she said when she grew up, she hoped she'd meet a lot of Italian people and hoped they would be nice like Mr. Angelo. Wow. And that's when you realize one person can really make a difference.
Yes.
You know, my dad wasn't a civil rights and all, but he just believed everybody. But he was in this area, and he got to know his people. That's what I mean when my dad was proud when Italians would be on the front, because, you know, with the gods.
It's made you quite emotional.
Oh, yeah, I do get emotional about that, because it really struck me that my dad was not a well-educated guy. He was smart, but he knew the difference between right and wrong. And, you know.
It's very moving to see how moved you are.
Yeah, it was really something for me, because that was leading by example.
Yes.
You know, that's what my dad always did.
We're in a garage full of spectacular, wonderful cars. You were in here, I think a year or so ago, when you had a horrific accident. And it could have been even worse.
Right.
Tell me what happened.
I was in the shop and I got a face full of gas and a spark.
What was the car you were working on?
1907 white steam car, and my face caught
Were you
fire.
underneath it? Or?
I was underneath, the gas hit me in the face, and then a spark jumped, yeah.
And you were literally on fire?
Oh yeah, I was on fire, and I said, Dave, I'm on fire. He said, what? And he pulled me out and jumped on top of me.
Dave's one of the guys that works in your
Yeah,
garage.
I drove to the hospital, and I got to the hospital, and they said, okay, we'll check you in. I go, well, I got to go home and get my wife first. They said, oh, no, you can't go home. I said, no, look, guys, I'll come back in the morning. So I go home and I could go to sleep.
How did you get home? You drove?
I drove, yeah.
You drove yourself?
I drove myself, but I went to bed.
Your face has been on fire.
Yeah, my face on fire. Then I went to bed, and then when I woke up, the pillow had melted to my face.
Oh my God.
So I'm sitting there with scissors, cutting the pillow.
Oh my God.
So then I went back to the hospital. They took the pillow off my face.
You lost layers of skin, didn't you? From your face?
Yeah. It was, yeah.
And you've got broadly a new ear.
Yeah, that's a brand new ear. That's pretty good, isn't it?
How much of it is actually...
Ears are like paper. They go up, when they're fired, they just, because there's no bone or anything.
Did you literally lose an ear?
Well, they made that one.
Did you worry in the period you were in
No,
hospital?
I'm not a worrier. I'm not a stress guy. You know, anything after the Tonight Show is gravy. It's really, you know. My parents got to see me be successful. That was one of the great joys of my life, that they were proud of me and all that kind of stuff.
When you had the fireball injury,
Right.
the phone goes and it's the President of the United States,
Right.
Joe Biden.
Right. Well, that's what's hilarious, okay? Because prior to that, my friend Steve, we're in his car, and it's on the speaker. And now, normally when you could get a call from the president, it's, is this Jay Leno? Yes, it is. Are you prepared to take a call from the President of the United States? Yes, I am. Please stay on the line. So you stand on the line for a minute. You hear, President Bush will pick up the line. Jay, oh, how are you, sir? Nice to meet you. From the car, how you? Ring, hello. Jay, it's Joe. What? Joe Biden. I go, oh, Joe Biden, President of the United States? He goes, yeah, how you feeling? I'm okay, sir. Thank you for calling. No, it just made me laugh. Jay, it's Joe. It just made me laugh.
The National Enquirer front page, I think, was TVJ and Fireball horror or something.
Oh, yeah, Fireball horror. But I think most people believe if they had an extra $50,000, they would have no problems at all. And I think most people believe that. I think if you're a happy person and you're wealthy, well, you're happier. But if you're a terrible person, you're not going to be happy because you're still a terrible person. It's not the amount of money
you've
you make.
interviewed so many very rich people.
Yes.
Do you see evidence that money buys happiness?
Well, it doesn't buy happiness, but it could certainly make you happier. I mean,
It removes worries.
It removes
But it also,
worry.
in a way, creates others, right?
Yeah, but you can, I mean, the fact that I could give scholarships to people or put a roof on my Uncle Louie's house, so when I get home, Jay gets the big meatball. The big meatball's for Jay. He put the roof on. Jay, get the big meatball. And I get the big meatball, you know. So, I mean, and that kind of stuff, it's great fun, yeah.
How important has Mavis been to you?
Wonderful. Been married 44 years, yeah. That's another where low self-esteem is a huge thing, because if this woman wouldn't sleep with me when I was 25, why would they sleep with me when I'm 65? No, I'm very fortunate I did not fall. I have a very good woman, and, you know, I try.
What's the secret of longevity, do you think, in a
I
marriage?
think that, you know, I remember telling this to Drew Barrymore. I said, marry your conscience. Find somebody who's the person you wish you could be. My wife does a lot of charity work, and I said, oh, I'm kind of selfish. I collect cars, and you know, so I'm going to marry somebody who's a little better than I am, and it keeps everything in check. Yeah.
You never had kids. Would you have liked to have done, looking back? Or
No, we just never had kids. It's just never. You know, something. The 44 years went by in a heartbeat. You know, I like the idea if I had a gig, she could go with me.
Do you think you'll ever stop working?
Well, if I have a stroke or something, I suppose.
But only if you were incapacitated.
Well, I mean, I
You
like.
wouldn't voluntarily stop. You still love the thrill of getting a laugh. Is that really what you're about?
Oh yeah, I think that's the most fun thing in the world, really. I mean, because it's why I travel alone. When you travel alone, this is what happens. You get famous, and then you have people that do things for you. You know, I was telling the story about, I have a place in Rhode Island. So I go to Rhode Island, and I always go to Joe's Pizza. Okay. So one of the guys said, hey, this new place, Nicholas Pizza, opened up. And oh, I'll try it. So again, I get there, and there's a line. So I'm standing in line. I go, Jay, yeah. It's Joe. What? Joe's Pizza. Hey, Joe, how you doing? He goes, what are you doing here? He goes, something wrong with our pizza? I go, no, it's fine. He goes, what are you doing here? I said, so I just make up a lie. I go, well, you know, I had a coupon. I figured I'm going to try it, you know, see. He goes, coupon. We all agreed not to use coupon. He's using coupon. Okay, now I'm in this. Now I'm in this lie. I'm going, well, yeah, I don't have the coupon. No, you said he's, well, no, I'm going to go talk to him. Don't talk to him. Okay, now I'm in this stupid lie. And it just made me laugh, because if I had somebody getting my pizza for me, that wouldn't have happened. You know, and the same thing happened.
Do you not have an entourage at all?
No, I don't. I had
no manager, no agent?
I did a gig for McDonald's, you know, a corporate event. So they gave me like a stack of Happy Meal coupons. I go, okay, now I don't like to waste money or throw things away. So, all right, I'll eat lunch at McDonald's until I use it.
Like Warren Buffett.
Yes, yeah. So I'm in this fancy car, the Mercedes SLR, where the doors come up this way. So I pull into McDonald's and say, can I get 2 Happy Meals? The girl says, okay, sir, we only allow 1 Happy Meal per visit. I said, well, that's fine. He goes, no, but I know it's you. I can. Let me talk to the manager. No, don't talk to him. No, just wait. Could you pull up? So I pull up, right? So then the door opens, right? So kids come over, and the manager comes, Miss Leno, normally we have a policy. Then I hear a kid go, it's Jay Leno. He's arguing about his Happy Meal coupon. I'm not arguing about my Happy Meal coupon. I look like in this $500,000 car. I just look like an idiot, like fighting with the 16-year-old kid at McDonald's about a Happy Meal. It just made me laugh. The guy goes, all right, I'll give you 2 Happy Meal coupons this time. But normally, I go, yeah, I'm fine. I got, you know, it just
hilarious.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean. That's what's fun about being on the road. Just odd things happen.